Had you seen the film before tonight? Had you used that?
I had, yeah, twice.
Would you use the mic? Sorry.
I had twice.
Yeah.
Only on a wee laptop though. It's a different experience, of course, watching on a big screen.
Yeah. And what was that experience like for you tonight? If I can ask.
Great.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. How were you approached about the book? How close were you to the film production?
Well, this is going back like 8 years now. You know, Kieran and Janine came to see me in Cardiff and like wined and dined me and stuff. You know, and I was just like pleased to give them the rights because what the ideas sounded so good. And then we worked on it for a while, and to be honest with you, I did get very bored. You know, I got bored of the characters and bored of the story, and I was going to be working on something else. You know, and I was going to live in Sweden as well for a few months. So I said to Kieran, just do what you need to do. You know, and it went over such a long time, but and you forget about it really. And then all of a sudden, seems all of a sudden, even though it took like nearly a decade, you just get this notice that it's happening. You know, and it felt really good. You know.
I'd really like to ask the actors about their involvement in the film. I genuinely think these performances are really stunning. I mean, Kieran's the first-time director. How did he earn your trust for you to give the performances you did in the film?
Me go. For me, it's not really whether someone's a first-time director or not. It's kind of just instinct, I guess. No, but I met Kieran, and he was so obviously in love with the material, and it just felt right, I guess. And if someone's really passionate about it, then there's trust.
Yeah, I mean, with Kieran, you'd never know he's a first-time director. He's exploding with talent. I mean, that film is so fucking good. Yeah. I'm so proud to be a part of it. I always find that with really experienced directors, with inexperienced directors, when they direct you, they're really full on. There's too much going on, and they're giving you so much different direction. And often, like one thing's this and the other's that it's really confusing. And it's really experienced directors who sort of sit back, give you the space as an actor in which to work, but then have this sort of laser focus because they know the material so well of how exactly to nudge you and direct you. And that's what Kieran did from day one.
And quite generous.
Yeah, really generous. And obviously there's scenes which were, challenging, yes. But again, Kieran made this space that was incredibly professional and big enough just to let us sort of go while being confident enough to sort of come in and be forthright with his vision.
Yeah, and Kieran was with us like every step of the way, like literally sitting beside us through every shot. But he was completely invested emotionally in every single aspect.
And Kieran, you spoke briefly at the beginning of the film about how difficult this kind of low-budget filmmaking was, but you must take some pride in this film, and there must be some pleasures about the way working as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm immensely proud. And when I read the book, it was kind of one of those strange things where a lot of people kind of said it's quite a difficult subject to get this onto the screen, And then probably is for your first time, for your first film, maybe you should try something a little bit, easy on the eye. But the story sort of gripped me. It's just one of those kind of things where I just couldn't let it go. And it just, even though through the ups and downs of, nearly getting it financed and not getting it financed and all that, I don't know, but it's something inside that just said I had to make this film rather than anything else. And that's what I hopefully did. What I did.
Thank you, Sam.
The sheer skill of the raw material, Kieran, that's what it was.
That's true, Niall. I have to concur with that.
One of the other things I really admire about the film is the sense of place. Kieran, would you talk a bit about your relationship with Liverpool and how?
Oh yeah. Well, Liverpool is a city that's very close to my heart anyway. it's got the best football team in the world, Liverpool for FC. Any Man United fans leave now. But Liverpool's an incredible city. I went there when I was 8 as a kid. And I just remember it. It just burned into my mind. I don't know why, but it just resonated with me in a certain way. And I've got to actually pay a lot of respect for our location manager, a guy called Tom Harnick, who was an absolute legend. He is a legend of film up there. But he knows Liverpool like the back of his hand. And I think the one thing that I really wanted to do was I didn't want to do the cliched ferries and stuff like that. There's so much rich architecture. I'm a massive fan of architecture. But I'm also a massive fan of space. And Liverpool is an incredible city. It sits, on this amazing estuary. And it's got an incredible coastline that runs up along it. And it's just, I don't know, for me, it's kind of like my favorite city, because I love cities by the sea. And I love cities that have got some sort of, visual flair to them. And when I first went up there with Niall, actually, when we were doing our first bit of research, I think it's just been given City of Culture.
Yeah.
And in the space of 3-4 years, it completely changed. It kind of went from a kind of like almost a derelict kind of like dock space to something that looked like a shiny Scandinavian, amazing kind of rebuild. But 10 minutes away from that dock, you've got some of the worst social deprivation you can ever imagine. And I love those kind of, not that I would ever encourage you to live in social deprivation, but in terms of a visual palette, it just sings for me, really.